think we'll go ahead and get started. I was going by that clock there, but I noticed it's about 10 after actually.
Yeah.
Life here, so. Since we have such a large crowd here, I'll wait for you guys. Okay. Okay. I'd like to thank you for being here today. As advertised, we're here today to talk about the March unemployment rate statewide, and to do that will be Amy Vandervliet. She is our regional economist here in the Portland area, and after Amy is done with her comments, I'll talk a little bit about the unemployment claims situation and the employment situation here in Oregon. So, Amy?
Thank you, Craig. Oregon's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate was 10.6% in March, unchanged from February's 10.5%. A year ago, in March 2009, the rate was 11.2%, and it peaked a few months later at 11.6%. And after declining a bit last fall, the rate for the last 4 months has seen very little change. It's been hovering around 10.6% since late last year. The national unemployment rate was 9.7% in March, also unchanged from February and unchanged from January. Oregon lost 400 jobs on a seasonally adjusted basis in March. February's losses were revised downward from 1,200 to 900. Most industries performed as we'd expect for this time of year, and all but two changed by less than 1,000 jobs, or more than 1,000 jobs over the month. Construction lost 300 jobs in March. This industry has been declining for 3 years now. Employment peaked in March of 2007, and we've lost nearly 42,000 jobs since. It's now fallen to its lowest level since the mid-1990s. Manufacturers added 1,100 jobs over the month, seasonally adjusted. Wood products and fabricated metals were flat, while gains in high-tech and non-durable goods outweighed losses in machinery and transportation equipment. Non-durable goods and its food manufacturing component are the only published sectors of manufacturing that are up over the year. Trade, transportation, and utilities gained 400 jobs, seasonally adjusted. This sector of Oregon's economy seems to have stabilized late last summer and has been gradually trending upwards since. It's expanded every month since September, adding a total thus far of 3,400 jobs. Leisure and hospitality has also shown signs of growth. It added jobs in each of the past 3 months and in 5 of the last 7, totaling 1,600 jobs. Professional and business services has been relatively flat in recent months. It declined steadily and at times very rapidly, starting in the middle of 2008. But then, in last November, it added jobs the first time in over a year. Since then, we've had 4 months of alternating losses and gains. In March, we added 600 jobs in the sector. Education and health services cut 400 jobs during a month where we typically see growth of 600. Most of the decline was in the healthcare component. Employment in the broad sector, though, is up over the year by 2,000 jobs, and it remains the only major industry in Oregon that's in the black year over year. Government added 1,500 jobs in March, when a gain of 900 is the normal seasonal movement. Hiring at the Census Bureau was the driving force behind these additional job gains. So in summary, Oregon's unemployment rate was 10.6% in March, unchanged over the past few months and down from the high of 11.6% we saw last May and June. The state lost 400 jobs over the month on a seasonally adjusted basis, following a loss of 900 in February and a gain of 1,200 in January. Declines in 7 broad industries outweighed gains in the other 5. Over the past year, we've lost 37,400 jobs for a decline of 2.3%. And that's it for my prepared statements.
How are we doing compared to the rest of the country, Amy?
If you want to rank our unemployment rate and our job growth, we don't have March so far, but our unemployment rate as of February, I believe, was the 13th highest. And our job growth year over year was probably ranked about 8th worst, 8th to 10th, I forget exactly. So we're not in the number 1, 2, or 3 position anymore.
This might be a tough one to answer, but what's it going to take for the state to kind of turn that around? Can you visualize what it would take?
It'll take a rebound in the national economy. We're going to do what the nation does. Maybe sooner, maybe later, but it takes strength in the national level to create strength here in Oregon.
Has there been any particular industry that's you've seen that's faltered that is a source of the problem, or how do I phrase this? Is there one particular kind of industry where we're sliding? Is it high tech or timber? You know, where do we really need to see the jobs come from?
Well, in terms of the worst hit industries, construction and manufacturing have been the hardest hit. Both, I think, together have lost over 40,000 jobs since their respective peaks over the last couple of years at least. Construction is down more on a percentage basis than manufacturing, but both have lost about 20,000, a little bit, well, I forget the exact totals, but they're the hardest hit sectors. And it would be nice to see a rebound in manufacturing because that would have a larger ripple, positive ripple across the rest of the economy.
When I look at the paper, I see that the stock market's reached 11,000. Is this going to eventually cause, is this good news for the unemployment rate?
In as far as it might make consumers spend more freely because they're feeling better about their portfolios, that could be a positive thing, maybe. And we're seeing an uptick in consumer spending nationally, and maybe that's due to the stock market. So if people start to spend more, consumers start to spend more, that will definitely help our economy.
Is there anything else that we need to throw in here into the mix?
Oh, I think that's it. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Amy. Now turning towards unemployment insurance claims, we've seen that unemployment insurance claims, as far as initial regular claims, has been sliding over the last couple of months, starting to decline just a little bit. As the week ending of April 3rd, we had just over 10,000 initial claims for unemployment insurance benefits. This is almost 6,000 less than for the same week a year ago. And since as of the end of March, initial claims for unemployment insurance benefits are down about 30% over the same time for a year ago. So that's the good news. And while unemployment insurance initial claims have been going down, the number of people who are actually on unemployment has continued to stay at a fairly high level. As a matter of fact, this last week, for the first time, we actually have more Oregonians on unemployment extensions than we do on regular benefits. We have about just under 99,000 Oregonians on regular unemployment benefits and almost 210,000 total Oregonians on unemployment. So as we go along here, as the extensions start to wear down, that number will start to come down a little bit as well. Now, on the employment side, spring is generally the time when we start to see employment start picking up here in Oregon, and we have seen that a little bit. In the Employment Department's iMatch Skills program, we have just under 6,000 job openings. This represents almost 15,000 job listings or opportunities for people statewide to find work. And in looking at where those jobs are, right now the largest as far as the types of occupations, farm workers and laborers for crops is right at the top, followed by interviewers, except eligibility and loan interviewers, customer service representatives, and fourth is middle school teachers, especially teachers who have bilingual skills is very high up there. And as far as industries, office and administrative support continues to be at the top in that, followed by farming, fishing, and forestry, and sales. So we are starting to see a little bit of a thawing as far as job openings are concerned. It's still not quite to the level where we would like it to be, and hopefully as the spring goes along, that's going to get a little bit better. So any questions as far as unemployment is concerned?
Just out of curiosity, you threw out one that kind of threw me for a loop, and that was interviewers. What was that all about?
Yes, that was for interviewers, except eligibility and loan interviewers. That is a classification that falls mostly, I think it's in the banking industry and in the mortgage industry. Yeah. There's right now that's the second highest number of job openings that we have, or job listings that we have with in the area, right below farm workers. Right.
Who'd have thought?
Hope that's all the questions. Thanks for coming, everybody. Appreciate it, and thank you for coming.